Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy IntroSpecktive. Welcome back to the IntroSpecktive podcast over here on UCast Studios. As always, make sure you subscribe for more, not just my content, but all the awesome content on here. We got a variety of creators, and there's plenty of good stuff to listen to on this channel, so please hit subscribe. We're trying to build the channel up and getting a good community of people to interact with the podcast weekly. It would mean a lot to us if you could hit the subscribe button for more. I'm just going to continue to do what I do and hopefully deliver a quality show for you guys to enjoy weekly. So make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you can continue to get all the great content on here. This is episode 9, I believe, of the IntroSpecktive podcast. So moving along pretty well. I'm having a great time so far. I really appreciate all of the support on the show. Last week's episode was quite popular for this channel's numbers, so I appreciate you guys tuning in for that. This week I thought I would continue this format that you guys seem to enjoy more, which is me with the webcam, make it a little more personal. So it's my pleasure to be able to continue doing what you guys enjoy, and this week I think I want to take it back to my classic format where I go on Twitter, I ask for questions. Got a ton of questions. I went through, picked 5 or 6 of my favorites that would make a good show. I appreciate you guys putting your questions in. You can follow me at IntroSpecktive if you want to be a part of that every week. So the first question is from SoulRack371, who says, with the recently positive reception of Steve after the bitterness from Byleth and Min, do you think Nintendo will push to have only third-party characters going forward for the rest of the Fighters Pass? I think that as far as the characters that were picked goes, I think that was already made. I think that they were hoping that Byleth and Min would get good reception, but we don't really know what the case is specifically. I feel like if they're still picking the characters, which I doubt, then I feel like they would maybe go with something on the level of Steve more than Byleth and Min. I don't know how many first-party reps they would possibly want. Obviously, a Pokemon is probably in talks. I don't really know who else they would want to put who's first-party at this point over third parties like Steve. But I think that Nintendo obviously sees the difference in reception between the characters, especially Byleth, because if you go on the the reveal trailer and Sakurai's presentation, the dislike ratio is pretty substantial. Like it's pretty noticeable. So I think Nintendo definitely knows that Fire Emblem is not well received in the community. I would be honestly 100% completely shocked if they ever put another Fire Emblem character in this game at this point. I just don't see it happening. I really don't. But I think that if you were to put another Nintendo rep in the game, it would probably be a Pokemon from Sword Shield. So I think that that's really the only Nintendo rep I could see being put in the game. I would assume that the rest are going to be third party, you know, likes of like Crash Bandicoot, or I don't know what's going on. Let's skip through this. What's going on here? Just skip all the nonsense. See, this is why I like doing these live, because now I get to just put the gameplay in the background, the good stuff, you know. But anyways, yeah, I could see it probably only being third parties from here on out. I just want to see some good movesets, you know, come through. I don't care if it's first party, if it's third party. I just don't want to really see like another like Min type of character where, you know, the moveset is pretty much F smash. And I get that Min's source material wasn't the most helpful thing when it came to designing her character, but I think that if you really just make a sick moveset, I don't care if it's a Pokemon, I don't care if it's a third party, I don't care if it's Mario 4, I don't care who it is, just give me a sick moveset and a completely unique character that brings something new to the table, and I'm pretty happy with it. I got Steve, I got Banjo, I got all the characters that I wanted, so I'm good. I would like maybe Phoenix Wright would be the only other one that I would be excited to see. But other than that, I just want to see some good characters. So I think as far as Nintendo, you know, catering to fans, I think they already predetermined the list, and obviously third party is going to be more hype. So if they launched it with Min Min, knowing that the rest of them are going to make up for it in the eyes of the general fan base, then that might be a good strategy. So I think that's how I would look at it. I think that's what Nintendo planned. I don't think that they just pulled characters out of a hat and were like, okay, we're doing it in this order. I think they planned the order of how they were going to do it. To end with Byleth and start with Min Min, I think was intentional. Which I think is actually pretty interesting when you think about it. The first Fighters Pass was all third party up until the final one, and then the second Fighters Pass started with first party, and now Steve is third party. So will they continue in the trajectory of 4 third parties and 1 first party like the first Fire Pass, only in reverse? I think that would be pretty interesting. So yeah, I'm excited to see where they go with it, and I couldn't tell you who the next character is, and that's what I'm excited for. So even if it is like a Nintendo character over a third party, it's just the mystery and the anticipation and the excitement of speculation, keeps it fresh for me personally. So thank you so much, Solrak, for that question. We got Carter, who says, if you could take the Smash Bros. Concept, a game where you play as an all-star from Nintendo gaming history, but couldn't make it a fighting game or platform fighter if you don't think Smash is a fighting game, what would you do? What's the genre of game? Talk about it. Thanks for the question, man. I would, and I don't know how many people would agree with this, but I would make a card game out of it. And there's a lot of card games where you have like a hero and they have like specific stats and stuff, and like you play cards around them, and like maybe they have their own like unique cards and stuff. I think it would be sick to have like a Smash Bros. Card game where each character is like a hero card, and then you build a deck around them, and obviously they have their own unique abilities based on the character that they are and everything. I think that would be really, really cool. I've always been a huge fan of card games. Magic the Gathering is a game that I played for many, many, many years. I stopped playing it just because paper Magic costs so much to play, and I stopped in the era before MTG Online and everything was a thing. But yeah, as well as Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh, I was huge into collecting. I didn't really play competitive Pokemon. I was more of a collector, but I definitely played competitive Yu-Gi-Oh hardcore, and I definitely played competitive Magic for a very long time. Competitive Magic is one of my favorite games of all time. So I would personally love to see like a Smash Bros. Card game where all of the characters are like, you build a deck around the different characters, and each character has like a different kind of play style and class and everything, based on the character they are and the abilities they have in the game. I think that would be super sick. But I think a more like generally like exciting thing that people, I don't know, I think if you made like a kart racer type thing, like a Mario Kart with all the characters, and maybe like enhanced the gameplay with like specific abilities, like Pikachu, for example, could like power his car with electricity or something. I think that would be really cool too. I think that would also be a huge success. But me personally, I would love to see like a card game type thing out of Smash Bros. I think that would be super sick. So yeah, thank you so much for that question, man. Blizzard Force says, is the Wii U a complete failure, or did it do some things right? I think it did a lot of things right, but when you look at the Wii U as a whole, you have to view it from Nintendo's standpoint that it was commercially kind of a failure in the generation that it was in, especially coming off the success of the Wii. The Wii is the most highly sold console of all time. I mean, just of all time, it's number one. So when you take the incredible success of the Wii and then come out with the Wii U, which was supposed to be, its predecessor was supposed to take the torch and be the next big thing and have just as much success. I mean, it bombed in comparison to the Wii, commercially. I mean, even if you compare it to the Xbox One and the PS4, which were, its competitors, then you gotta call it a commercial failure, because it got completely outsold by both of them, like completely outsold, like absolutely crushed by the PS4 and the Xbox. So I think that when you look at that Nintendo sees that as a failure of a console. However, I do not think that the Wii U, as a console for, the purpose of games, is a failure, because the Wii U has one of the best libraries in all of Nintendo. I mean, there's just so many bangers on that console that, the list just really goes on from, you have Mario Maker, you have 3D World, you have Smash 4, you have, what do you call it? Oh my god, I am like having an actual freaking brain fart right now. You have Tropical Freeze is what I was gonna say. You have all these fantastic games. I mean, you can't really look at the Wii U's library and be like, oh, that's a failure. This console sucked. The console itself was pretty great games-wise. I think that as far as hardware went, it wasn't the best with the gamepad. The gamepad felt quite comfortable in the hands. It was pretty comfortable in the hands, but my god, the Wi-Fi chip on that thing was terrible. It was clunky as all hell. The touchscreen was really bad on it. It had a worse touchscreen than the DS, honestly. I just feel like the touchscreen on that thing was terrible. It felt really cheap. Like, it was super light, and just like, it had the issue of, hey, if you break your gamepad, like, you're pretty much screwed. They didn't sell them individually, so you either had to find one on like eBay, or through a third party, or you just get a new Wii U, really. So there was a lot of issues with the gamepad, but I think at the same time the gamepad led the way to the eventual creation of the Switch, which is a much better handheld experience than the gamepad ever was. So I think that when you hold the Switch, obviously got Joy-Con drifting, but when you just hold this thing, it feels really nice. It feels well made. It feels like a quality console. I didn't really get that with the gamepad. I felt like the gamepad felt really cheap. Like I said, it was comfortable in the hands, but it just felt like it was just like a cheap hunk of plastic with not the best touchscreen, not the best Wi-Fi receptors. And even the Switch still has issues with Wi-Fi if you're not plugged in, Ethernet. If you're trying to download something on the if you're just in handheld trying to download something or play online, the Wi-Fi chip on this thing, not the best. So I would hope that if they were gonna make like a Switch Pro or something, that's something I want to see them fix, is the Wi-Fi chip. But no, I don't think that the Wii U, in terms of its legacy, because of the games that it had on it, is a failure. But when you look at it from the perspective of Nintendo being, we're selling consoles, this is what we do, this is how we make our money, yeah, I think it was not what they wanted in the slightest in terms of sales. And they bounced right back with the Switch. So sandwiched between the incredible success of the Wii and the incredible success of the Switch, which the Switch is probably going to surpass the Wii within the next year or so, because the sales have just been skyrocketing. I think that production has been stalled because of COVID, though. I think they had to shut down a plant in Taiwan or something that was like their main manufacturer, or I don't know specifically. I think I read something about that, so that's why it's been hard to find Switches. But when production goes back up, yeah, I don't see how the Switch isn't gonna just overtake the Wii sales. It's just its trajectory and its lifespan is gonna be much longer, because I'm sure they're going to try to do like a special edition, like keep doing these special editions and everything. I don't know if they're gonna do a Switch Pro. I mean, they've never really done that. I mean, you can say like the different variations of the DS, but like, they've never come out with like, oh, this is the N64 Pro, this is the Wii U Pro. So I don't know if they're gonna do a Switch Pro where it's like upgraded hardware and functionality and everything. They already did the Switch Lite, so maybe that's all they're gonna do with it. Yeah, I don't really know why people are just 100% confident that Nintendo's gonna come out at E3 next year or something and be like, oh, look at the Switch Pro, when the standard Switch is doing bangers of sales, and the Switch Lite just came out as well. So I don't really know what the thought process behind people thinking it's like a set in stone guarantee. But if they were to do that, I think that they're going to continue, just absolutely crushing it. But the Wii U, obviously, they saw was like, we're not going to be able to continue the lifespan of this console. I think the Switch was probably in development before the Wii U even came out, and the Wii U was kind of just like, the bridge between the two big boys, the Wii U the Wii and the Switch, because they really didn't try to push the console much, other than the games. And even then, like, I don't even think that the Wii U was pumping out games as often as like they're trying to do with the Switch, or they especially not the Wii. I mean, the Wii's got a billion games on it, so I think the Wii U was kind of just like they took the L on that one, and that was really they just moved on to the Switch because they knew that the Switch was going to be the next big thing. And I'm happy that Nintendo was able to bounce back financially. I think that the Switch needs to be fixed in a lot of ways, though, especially the Joy-Con drifting, the Wi-Fi chip, like I said. So if there is a Switch Pro, I hope they address those issues. I know I was like all over the place on that question, but yeah, thank you so much for the question there, Blizzard Force. Appreciate you, man. Okay, so Jojo Berry says, thoughts on the upcoming Mario movie, expectations, what you're worried about, which characters do you want to see, like Waluigi and Rosalina? Listen, man, I'm not huge on video game movies, and the reason that I'm not huge on video game movies is because they're usually really, really, really bad. Like, most video game movies are just terrible. I think the only exception to a video game movie that, like, I legitimately enjoyed and was like, this was a pretty good movie is the Sonic movie that just came out last year. I think that's really the only one. Detective Pikachu wasn't terrible, but it wasn't good either. I think, like, Detective Pikachu, all of the stuff, like, relating to Pokemon was really cool. Like, all of the designs were great. The way they, like, interacted with the world was really cool. Like, the way they, like, acted and everything was really cool. They were all awesome. But then, like, the rest of the movie, outside of Ryan Reynolds' voice acting, like, the rest of the acting wasn't good. The story wasn't good. The writing wasn't good. Like, it was just a movie to sell Pokemon more, and, you know, the Pokemon stuff was sick, but, like, it wasn't a good movie, in my opinion. I didn't, like, necessarily walk out of the theater and go, man, that was, like, incredible. I loved everything about that. No. I really only liked Ryan Reynolds' voice acting and, like, the Pokemon designs and, like, how they, like, interacted with the world. I thought was really creative. But other than that, no, I thought it was a bad movie. Sonic is really the first video game movie where I was like, you know, the animation was really cool. The characters were great. The writing was really funny. The story was good for what it was. Like, it was just a solid movie. Like, if it wasn't Sonic, it would still be like, you know, there would still be like redeeming qualities, like Jim Carrey and the comedy and like the action scenes and everything. Like, there was a lot of cool stuff in that movie. But yeah, I think that's really the only one. So my biggest fear with this upcoming Mario movie is that it's going to be a terrible video game movie, which is completely plausible. Because if you've seen the first Super Mario Brothers movie, it's one of the worst movies ever created. I mean, it's one of those movies where it's like, it's so bad that it's like, it's fun to watch just because it's so terrible. But it's an awful movie. Like, it's one of the worst movies ever made, and it just completely, like, goes left from the source material. It's like, other than like Mario and Luigi being in it, like, it's not Mario. Like, it's really not Mario at all. Like, the Goomba, don't even get me started on the Goomba in that movie. But yeah, I think that you gotta just have low expectations for video game movies. You know, it's you can't even put them on like the same realm as like oh, like the MCU is coming out with a new movie. Like when the MCU comes out with a movie, you expect it to be good because superhero movies have been solid. Like when you see a new video game movie come out, you're gonna be like, oh, that's gonna be fucking horrible, because it's a video game movie. You know, it's not like there's just this there's just a certain thing about video game movies that they're just like 99% of them have been absolutely horrible, and I think that Sonic was the first one to break that mold, and it's also one of the most recent. So I hope that you know, this signals the end of the era of terrible god awful video game movies, and that like, oh, directors and writers and all these people are actually going to care about the film and not just the fact that if we slap Pokemon on it, it's gonna make millions at the box office regardless. I hope that we're out of the era where it's not just, oh, let's just make a video game movie, you know, super low budget crap movie that people are going to see regardless because it's got their favorite video game characters in it, and actually be like, okay, let's take this awesome concept that people love and let's translate it onto the big screen with the level of respect and care that the source material was given, and let's make a great product that people can, you know, further extend their love to outside of the game itself. I think that's what the Sonic movie did, because at first it was going to be a complete trash fest. I mean, like, when you see the original trailer for the Sonic movie, you know that it was going to be bad. It was going to be terrible. And they took their time. They listened to the criticism. They listened to the fans. They went out. They made the changes. They spent the money. And they came back with a banger product that everyone can enjoy for years and years and years to come. Other video game movies didn't do that. Okay, other movies didn't do that. So I think that the fact that the Sonic team did that and respected the fans, I hope that they set an example for, you know, video game movie directors to come. Listen to the fans. The fans know what they want to see. The fans know the source material better than you do. Don't mess it up and make a respectful product. That's what I want to see out of the Mario movie. I would like to see as many Mario characters as possible, obviously. But if you're going to waste your time and you're just going to make a cash grab, soulless film that has no direction, has no good writing, has no passion, then I don't even want to see it be made. Like, that's how I feel about it. If you're going to make a solid Mario movie, I'm down for it. I will go pay money to see a solid Mario movie because I love Mario. But if you're going to waste our time and make a soulless cash grab like some of these other films, then don't even make it, because I'm not seeing it. So that's how I feel about that. Thank you so much, Jojo Berry, for that question. And finally, Akiro says, is there a Pokemon rep for, if there is a Pokemon rep for Fire Pass 2, which Pokemon do you think they would choose? You know, I'm under the impression that they would go with a starter, obviously. I think Rillaboom would probably be cool because, you know, there isn't like a fully evolved grass type in the game. You got a fully evolved fire type, Charizard and Incineroar, and then you got the fully evolved water type with Greninja. So I think that having Rillaboom in the game would be cool. If that's what they're gonna go, like the starter route, I think Rillaboom would be the coolest. Cinderace and Inteleon, like if they put Cinderace in the game, I would actually probably be upset because we already have two full evolved fire starters in the game. Like don't put another one. Like, for the love of God, don't put another one. Inteleon would be okay, I guess. You know, because Squirtle is you know, is a, you know, the basic Pokemon. I don't know what the first form, and then Greninja is the fully evolved, so I really wouldn't want Inteleon because there is already a fully evolved water type. So I think Rillaboom would be the choice. I don't think I would be as mad about Inteleon as I would Cinderace, but I still would be like, this is like why? I think if they're gonna do a Pokemon, like, why not just do a type that doesn't exist in the game yet? I think the coolest type or Pokemon that they could put from Gen 8, if they're gonna do Gen 8, is Toxicity. That Pokemon is sick, and it's Poison Electric, right? I think it's Poison. Yeah, it's Poison Electric. I mean, I know Electric type is in the game already, Pikachu, and Pichu. But I think he would be sick. I don't know. I feel like, if you're gonna do a Pokemon, like put a type in the game that isn't represented in the game. There's so many types of Pokemon, and we have like what, 4 types represented? No, we Lucario as well. But like, there's just so many. There's just so. I was thinking Mewtwo, the other one, but there's so many like types that could be. Like a Ghost type would be sick. Like, why not use like a Ghost type, or like Gengar or something? You know, I don't know. I think that the sky's the limit with what you could do with Pokemon, but I feel like they're just gonna go with the most bland thing possible. And I feel like Cinderace would be the one that they put in. Right? If I had to bet money on who they would put in Smash as the Gen 8 rep, they would probably put Cinderace, and it would piss me off because Cinderace would be the most boring, uninspired. I mean, I feel like Cinderace could play unique and everything, and I know that, like, I'm like kind of being hypocritical on what I was saying earlier. Is like, oh, as long as it's like a unique character, I don't care. But like, come on, we already have 2 fully evolved fire starters in the game, and it's not like Fire Emblem where it's like, you know, um, there's different types of Pokemon that you could like really flesh out a moveset with. Like, take like a dragon type or like a ghost type, and you can make a one of a kind moveset. I mean, obviously, I know that there's different types of Fire Emblem stuff. You get your mages, you get your sword fighters, you got stuff like Byleth, who uses different weapons. But like, Pokemon types could be so unique. So I don't want to see another fully evolved fire starter in the game when you could have like Gengar or something that could like have a completely insane moveset that's unlike anything else because he's a ghost type or something, Like, something like that would be sick. But yeah, if I had to bet money, I would say that they're gonna just do one of the starters. I would hope it's Rillaboom. Rillaboom is probably my least favorite fully evolved starter. Grookey is my favorite starter. I really like Grookey a lot, but I didn't like Rillaboom as much as I like probably Inteleon the most of the 3. But I would want to see Rillaboom in Smash of the 3, just because Ivysaur is the only other grass type, and there's already fully evolved forms of other starters for the other 2 types. So just put Rillaboom if you're going to do a starter. If not, Toxicity would be cool because he's poison. You can do 6 stuff with poison. Piranha Plant is poison in his kit. So, you could incorporate poison into Smash. It's already been done. So I think it'd be sick. As well as like having the electric type stuff. And just the Pokemon itself, like, he's probably my favorite design of all of Gen 8. So that would probably be my favorite Pokemon to put into the game. But yeah, it's most likely gonna be a starter, and I could just see Cinderace being the one. So I hope it's not, but it just might be. Anyways, thank you guys so much for listening to today's podcast. Appreciate you as always. Again, please make sure to subscribe to UCast Studios so you can get all of our content. And I will see you next Monday for episode number 10. Hitting double digits next week, so I appreciate the continued support. And I'll see you over on my channel the next few days for As a Steve main. So you all take care, and I will see you when I see you. Have a great day. Deuces.